forgot that music goes way down real quick. Sorry about that. Hi, folks. So tonight's going to be quite interesting. Looks like I'm overdriving the mic, so let me back that off a little bit there. Hopefully, this is better. Yeah, Hollywood. Here's Frank, and of course, Mark. Tonight,
Frank!
how you doing, Mark?
Doing pretty good, man. Thanks for having me.
Of
I'm
course.
excited for tonight's topic. I've got something right here to show everybody when the time comes for field day. You're going to want one.
Well,
Everybody's going to want one. And I'll put the files up for free, so you can print
well,
them.
I do know I want that cattail that's floating around in there.
That is Fat Ollie, spelled Phat, because we don't body shame him, although he is pretty
Exactly.
fat.
Oh, Mike has it right. Boondock Echo?
I think I heard Boondock Echo.
Yeah, I think I did too. So before we get going here, I want to bring this up, if it will. Well, okay, apparently it wanted to full screen us instead. There we go. For all your field day needs for placemats, drinking utilities, whatever, fun shirts like, bro, do you even, come on, bro, do you even field day? Check out Quirky QRP over on Etsy. James wasn't able to join tonight, but I'm going to drop his link in the chat, and there's a discount code down below in the description. You know, you can even get this fun thing, the mammoth mat, or as Tim said, the big ass mat. We're not quite over the 5 minute mark, so I had to play with that one a little bit there. And if you guys want, I have a whole field day channel over in my Discord server. If you want to drop pics of what previous field days looked like or stuff you have that you're planning to take to field day, feel free to drop it there. And I'll share it here on stream towards the end. So if you're in my Discord, feel free to do that. Yes, other Mike. By the way, your other Mike, because there's too many mics. There's Traveling Ham Mike, there's Lord Mike K8MRD, and then there's you. So your other Mike, just like Andy and other Andy on YouTube. So yes, big as map. Oh, Chris is being funny. What's field day? Well, funny you should ask, Chris. For those that don't know, field day is where us hams get to go out and practice for a straight 48 hours.
Something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, math sounds right. 24 to 48 hours. Your emergency comm prep. So, yeah, as Mike says, it's a competition. Okay, so Michael, getting out in life. You're Michael. You're not Mike. You're Michael. You know, there's a distinction there. And other Mike, no. You have not been dubbed a Lord by Lord Callum of DX Commander. There's a whole certificate, a whole knighting, the whole process. So no, Lord Mike is ham radio too.
I'll do all that for you for $50.
Lord Callum did it for free.
I'll do it for $50.
Okay, Chris, 24 hours. Okay, I just know it was some weird amount of time that does a lot of fun
people go
stuff.
out all weekend, though.
Yeah.
It's not like they just stop. You just go out on Friday night and pick up a camp out and come back Sunday morning.
Exactly. Or even Monday morning.
Yeah.
Yeah. Always a lot of fun. Let's see. Other Mike wants to do a soda activation on top of Everest. You have fun with that one. With the lines to get up to Everest these days, good luck. So we're talking about field day this year. I have a handful of questions. We'll see what happens. There's supposed to be a few more people joining us, but they're going to be a little late tonight. So we'll see what happens.
Well, if we're looking for something to talk about, I have a new antenna that I'd love to share with you guys.
Let's do it.
Okay, I'm going to turn off the virtual background because I don't want to have to deal with that. So,
and let me maximize you.
All right, so here's what we have. You might recognize, let me get on the screen here. You might recognize these as the 18-foot telescopic poles.
Oh, yes.
With the M10s. This is just a half-inch hollow hole, but you flip it over and the ground state. And then you're gonna love this. You're absolutely gonna love this. Bam!
Ah, that was the 3D print model you've been working on.
But wait, there's more. How are you going to connect the top piece for the inverted V? So there are these cool little cam clamps.
Okay.
And the way that it's going to work is you run the wire through and then you loop it around and run it up the middle, and then you just have wire coming out the top. Although I'm sure we could come up with something a little cleaner. But those things will cam clamp onto the top of the antenna.
Oh, there you go.
And then they won't come off. And then that is your connection. So you would run this up in a giant V, which of course I can't get on camera in here. And when you're done, you take it off and it all packs up nice and small into your pack, and you've got a inverted delta ready to go. Now, the next piece, the reason I haven't done it yet, and I kind of ran out of time today, but the next piece.
While you're finding that piece, hello, Sean, I'll bring you in a second. And Hollywood says 18-foot rabbit ears.
Right? So the next piece that I haven't done yet is the balun, and I'm thinking about running a hole right through the middle of it. I haven't decided yet, so that it lives right down here at the base, right where it's going to connect to the two antennae.
There you go.
And the cool thing, which I didn't even think would work, but it did, I had to do a little bit of lubrication, but these are threaded. The 3D printers can print really nice threads. I had no idea. I thought it was going to be a lot rougher than it was.
Not bad.
Yeah. I don't know if that's going to show up or not.
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit. So, yeah, anyways, it is a quick deploy inverted delta that has some really cool linkages on it. And my favorite part is the cam clamp up at the top.
Awesome. And you can drop those, the STL files for those if you want, if you have the other chat up. If not, we'll add them to the description afterwards.
I do not have the other chat up. I am in Restream right
now. That's fine. If you want to drop it in private chat, I can drop it into the chat that way, and then we'll add it to the description later.
Yeah, once people start talking, I will go get those files and send them to you.
Absolutely. And apparently $50 is a deal. Colin says it actually costs $100 US to become a Lord.
Yeah, well, like, I'm not going to do anything official. Mostly I'm going to take your money and print out something I get off of Canva.
There you go. And hello, Sean and Jeff.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, guys.
Now we're getting things together here.
I got to get my sound situated. Hold on.
Okay. Well, we can hear you.
Chris Bricker says,
yeah, my audio
Mark is the new Ron Papel. Do you set it and forget it? You do. But exactly. Wait, there's more.
Oh, there's more.
So inside the antenna clamp, I got to turn this virtual background back off.
There we go. So
I was kind of worried about leveraging the whole antenna off of just, one little M10 screw nut. That's why they're in these sleeves here.
Right.
So down at the bottom, there are thread sets, and then there are holes off the side where you can solder a wire right there, and then you have your connection to your antenna. Or the other thing that you could do is just get a big crimp terminal. Now take off the plastic insulator and just fold it down in there too.
Now, Mark, you're going to have to make that bigger. You know my solderoids. That's not going to fit my solderoids.
Well, for you, sir, I would recommend the crimp.
Okay. Let's see. Brian says, imagine a pair of 34 foot or 34 foot. Wow, 34-inch alpha antenna for those. Oh, they are 34 foot? Yeah, okay.
Yep. They're new ones.
Whips.
They're going to be new ones.
Frank, my friend, this is what you would use.
Yeah, that seems like it would be a better choice for me.
This one's a little bent, but I mean, there's enough play in the case that would fit just fine for you.
Fantastic.
And to be fair, Frank, you could crimp your soldenoids. They're that big.
Oh yeah, I know.
To be fair.
I will tell you the secret to get rid of
To be fair.
solderoids, and it's incredibly simple, and nobody ever does it. Flux.
That is the next thing on the list. I mean, this new
Very true.
solder that Jody sent me, absolutely. I mean, it works fantastic. You guys have seen it in the past here, but I'm actually going to full screen me for a second. Look at that nicer, less soldered.
Nice.
Less solderoid.
Yeah.
Good job, buddy.
So that's latest. So we're not. Yes, I mentioned solderoids, but we're not here for that. We're here for field day. Jeff, you have a strong opinion about that?
Antenna.
No, I don't have a strong opinion. Well, yeah, I probably do. Field day is nice. It's a nice activity, but it's a shame that the majority of the ham radio clubs, at least in the U.S., believe that field day is the only day to go out and be portable. Now, that's not everyone in the club. That's like just the clubs as a whole together. And it's kind of sad that you see people stuck in their homes playing on VHF, UHF repeaters all year long. And then when field day comes around, at least summer field day, I'm not even going to talk about winter field day because kind of the same, but when summer field day comes around, they get out. It's like, I'm doing field day. I'm like, good. You got 600 or 364 other days you could do field day too.
Right.
I'm feeling really attacked right now, Jeff.
I'm not attacking you. It's just something I've noticed in the past 10 years. At least here in Delaware, that's the way that okay, let me fix that. Northern Delaware. Will they do in southern Delaware below the canal? Not really sure. But at least that's what I've observed up here. And probably some other locations too. I just see a lot of people, it's like field day. It's like, hey, you could do it every day with parks on the air. You do it any way you want to. You could do it big, you could do it small, high power, low power, backpack, bring your truck in with the tower.
Well, here's the fun thing about that. There's a club here in the state, and I've mentioned this before. By the way, Mike's absolutely correct. Mark has the high ground.
He's above me? Is that why?
Yeah, that's why. That's the way I took it. There's
you can't win, Anakin. I have a high ground.
Hey.
There's a club out here in California, and their idea of field day is they're going to be out there for the hours of 9 to 3 at a park to promote their club activity on sideband only. And it's so that the scouts can come out and see what the radio side of things is all about, and that's it. If you want to do CW, you want to do FT8, you want to do any of the other digital modes, etc., you have to bring your own equipment and set it up.
That's sad. It's a little bit different out here. At least I'm going to speak about Northern Delaware where I'm at. Southern Delaware I don't know about. But there's at least 2 different groups. They're not clubs. One person is a scout master or a scout leader, a troop leader, whatever they're called. And every year they do a camping event, at least that I've been invited to, either down here at one of the state parks near me or up in Pennsylvania. And they always get their kids on the air when they show up, at least. There's one year they scheduled, the school scheduled a band trip on that same weekend as the Jamboree on the air. But
I feel like you're doing yes, I got.
There we go. Sorry about that. Paul, give me a thumbs. Paul, when you get situated, give me a thumbs up. we'll just take him
Cool.
back out for now.
Then there's another person that actually works with scouts, with a scout troop. He's not a member of the scouts, but he helps them um, in another area of the state to get on the air and get them either on UHF or VHF or HF. So there's like two active groups that I know of, and they do it I guess on a regular basis. But if you do field day and you do it between A and B hours and tell other people to bring their own equipment, you're not going to at least help other people to coordinate with, like, hey, do CW over here. Hey, you do VHF, UHF. Hey, you do HF here. If they just do like one thing, it's very limited. And that's kind of sad because
That is very
you,
sad.
It
you want to
is.
get those kids interested. So you want to show them everything as much as you can. You can't have like everything out there. You can't have CW, digital. Well, you might. HF, VHF, UHF, satellite, whatever else. Maybe soldering and tinkering and building or whatever. But you can probably get a few of those out there and at least get them interested. Like, hey, go check out the CW and go check out the VHF, UHF people and check out the HF people over there and get them on the air and get them at least interested.
Oh, absolutely. Hi,
Yeah.
Paul.
Hey, Paul. And that's
What's
like
up, Paul?
that's completely different
How's it
from
going?
where Paul and I are at because our clubs are like almost going all out for field day. And we do more than just once a year, more than twice a year.
Well, that's cool. That's very cool. I laughed right there. I got a chuckle because one of the clubs I used to belong to, they went to a county park for an event, and I'm like, we're gonna do park. They're like, we're gonna do parks on the air, but we're not at a park.
Then it's not Parks on the Air.
Yeah, it's not Parks on the Air.
Yeah.
Like,
And
when we do
it's like,
Parks
it's
on the
not
Air, we
Parks on the
literally
Air,
go
and,
to the
like,
nearest state park.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, getting into this. Okay, Northern Delaware is saturated with state parks. I probably hit 20 at least from my house within 30-minute drive.
Right.
But they decided to go to a county park, and I just got the biggest chuckle when you said we do it more than a few times, or more than twice a year, and I'm like, well, that's a good thing, and I just got to laugh from my experience. So
Jeff, you're in the part of the country where you step outside your front door and you're in a park.
Yeah.
almost, I could drive 5 minutes. I'm on a trail.
Like
Exactly.
the nearest park for me is about an hour north. Well, it's not quite an hour. It's like 45 minutes.
Wow.
But
So,
I would offer that just remember everybody's in a different place in life with different amounts of free time available to them and different skill levels.
that's
As
true.
long as they're getting out and having a good time.
It's all good, yeah.
And
But
so
it's
real
just-
quick,
I just, like
here.
I said before. Go ahead, Frank.
Colin, check the link in the description. I think the link in the chat is, something happened with that and it didn't update properly. I changed it today. It should have been good.
Frank broke it.
Yeah, I broke it somehow. So try the description. If not, shoot me a message and I'll just ping you that way. And WA Wingnut, Jeff, is that you on Twitch? Really? Not you, Jeff. Washington,
Yeah.
Jeff. Says they're putting up 4 of the AB577 antenna masts, 20, 15, 10, and 6-meter Yagis, and 2 40-meter dipoles between 2 of the masts.
That's pretty cool.
Fantastic.
that's interesting.
All right, continue on, Jeff.
I forgot what I was going to say. What were we talking about?
You were asking me about the other antenna I was working on.
Okay, what's
Not-
the other antenna you're working on there?
Okay. So this one, the other one's pretty
Yeah,
much
sure.
ready to go except for the Balun, right? This one is still in the conceptual stages, but I'm ready to at least assemble and try it. So imagine that you've got 8 of these in a circle. Rapid deploy discone, baby. Woo!
There you go. You're talking
what
to me about that
frequency-
one.
What frequency is that good for?
Probably just like UHF. I've not done any simulations on it. I'm more interested right now in the mechanical, getting the mechanics going. Well, no, I'm serious because you're going to have a wire here and a wire here, and they're going to have
Okay.
to electrically connect to something over here and stay
Okay.
connected to it. So this first version, all I'm worried about is getting it to do whoop all at once and making sure there's electrical connectivity. If I can get that figured out, well, then I can actually spend the time to figure out the sims and optimize it. But I would think for something this short, you're probably looking at the VHF, UHF ranges, I would think.
Cool.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm not
Ballpark.
that smart enough to build antennas like that or come up with those kind of ideas.
Still a good idea though.
Well, Mark is quite the tinkerer. If you guys well, Jeff, I know you know. Paul, I'm sure you know. Sean, do you know Mark behind the scenes?
Mm-mm.
Mark is the genius behind Boondock Echo.
Did I hear Boondock Echo? And I'm part of the team,
Boondock
sir.
Echo.
Yeah,
Boondock Echo.
Did someone
Yeah,
say
that's-
Boondock Echo?
that's Mark over there.
Aha.
Well, nice
So.
to meet you.
Nice
I
to
heard
meet
an
you.
echo.
There's an echo.
Echo.
Right.
Echo.
Will the disk cone be on the GitHub? Yeah, Chris. Long term, yes, but man, I am still. I don't even have an assembled one yet. I've got all the pieces printed where I can run the wires and embed them and try it out. But after that, I don't expect the first assortment to work. Let me see if I have it right here. So I made it super small, which makes it fragile, but it also, because I was going for compact. So it's going to sit on these little radials. It's going to end up being still a couple inches around. I'd like to make it smaller, but then I also need to work on the opening mechanism. It's pretty far away from prime time, just FYI. But all our stuff is once we get it done, we open source it because we're not trying to sell these. We just do this for fun.
That way you can go out and you, the user, can go out and experiment and tinker.
Yeah, maybe make it better. But yeah, it'll all be on our Discord. Well, when you guys start talking here in a minute, I'll open up Fusion and I'll get the STLs for the other antennas, and you guys can make your own inverted V.
There you go.
Inverted delta. Sorry.
So I cheated. I used ChatGPT for this a little tiny bit.
That's okay.
You're not a serious live streamer if you don't use ChatGPT for some stuff. I'm just gonna say that.
I guess I'm not. I still can't figure it out.
Like baby videos.
See, there you go. By the way, Paul, that video's been doing real well. Thank you.
I started seeing
fun to
those,
make.
and it's funny that you did one because it's like you're like 2 weeks late. Now they're all gone. I see them pop up every once in a while. Like,
Yeah, I
I'm
did.
like,
I did mine a couple weeks ago, and then I did Ape. I did one for Ape. Michael at Getting Out of Life. I did one for Ziggy, Frank, and Tank.
Yeah. It's only because Paul did it that I have one. That's the only reason. And it came from my.
If I go through what my last video, I haven't even gone to that video yet. I got another one I'm working on. I went on a tyrant about my local wireless provider. Not really local, it's a nationwide wireless provider. And if I think it's funny enough, I might like do the baby video just for the giggles of it.
Right. Now I will say this: Don, who's apparently not in the chat tonight, he's weird. He doesn't do Friday nights, but he'll get on the HF net for HRCC in an hour. Go figure. Don likes the baby videos, especially Baby Frank. Apparently, I sound really good in that video. I don't know what Paul did to make me sound so good, but apparently, I sound good in that.
Well,
And
I mean,
the last big fad was the action figure images.
Oh,
Yep.
jeez. Yeah, I didn't even bother with that.
Mine was a black bodybuilder.
I did one image as the only thing no one else was doing, and I did the sad ham one, and I thought it was pretty funny. I posted in the Tuesday night Discord private server just for the giggles. I'm not going to put it out there, but I thought
When
it
you
was
do the
kinda
random one, I just did the random one. It gave me a black guy with dumbbells and all this, and posted it on Facebook. And I said, I knew my mirrors were lying to me all this time.
There you go. So let's talk about last year versus what you can do this year for field day. So, show of hands, who's going to be attending some sort of field day event this year?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
I'm with you, Jeff. I don't know. Okay, so Paul and Sean for sure. Okay, so what's something that went wrong in a previous year field day that you want to try and fix or do differently this year?
Well, my club, the computers didn't want to talk to the radios so well, so gotta fix that.
Okay, that seems like an easy fix.
Bleeding over, I'll have filters this year.
Yeah. Filters are important. Absolutely.
Filters are important. Other than that, all the field days I've went to went off pretty well.
Okay,
I
Jeff.
usually go out with my clubs.
I haven't been to a field day for a few years. I know I think last two they had, it stormed. It didn't rain. It stormed here in Delaware, and I heard most of them were kind of like sheltered in the location they were at, so they weren't outside, but they did have to hurry up and disconnect the several antennas they had set up. But yeah, if I do a field day, it's just got to be to visit, to hang out for a little bit, talk to some people, and get out. Like I said, I might have said earlier that I'm not a big fan of field day. I've had some kind of good / bad situations happen at field days, so I'd never be like kind of like gung ho about it. But who knows? You never know what can happen. Try something different, might be a lot better.
I
Fantastic.
think a lot of that kind of depends on the clubs too.
Yeah, like I
Yeah.
said before, the clubs here, at least through my experience, have just been not super fantastic for me. And I've seen certain behaviors. Like I said, people just come out once a year. That's like their big thing, and you never see them again until next year.
Yeah.
I do think clubs should try to be a little bit more active, get people out, get younger and newer hams involved. Even if they're newer hams and as in older hams, still get them out. Older people, get them out
Yeah.
and get them active. Even if you guys like do like a club was to do like a POTA activation once a month, once every 2 months, it's more than doing it once a year on field day.
Very true.
Absolutely. Mark, what about you?
I like a nice soft bed, so I've got about an acre of property. I will just throw up a wire and screw around with no real hopes or ambitions in mind.
That's a good way to do it.
Absolutely.
If you don't want to go to a club or don't have a club near you, if you have a place to go, or just do it at home in your backyard, or do be like one of the whatever the category is for like in-house.
One
Shore
hotel,
power.
I think, or one Delta.
Yeah,
Home
something
power.
like that. But yeah,
Well,
if you want to do it that way, do it that way. But even if you go out in your backyard and put a tent up and like camp out, that's pretty cool to do it too.
Yeah.
And I've got a
You're still
soda
trying
peak,
at that point.
a soda peak within eyesight of me. It's like 3/4 of a mile away.
Yeah, but it's like what, 600 feet straight up?
That's the issue. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
work, but it's still.
You need to invent.
don't-
You need
You
to
don't,
build
you don't
an
have to
elevator.
get all the way to it. You just have to get inside a radius of it, Frank.
Yeah, 25 vertical feet down, or 25 vertical meters down. So what's that, like 80 something feet? So
And then what's the radius around?
it's 25 vertical feet, period. Or 20, I keep saying feet because I'm used to feet. 25 vertical meters
Feet.
from the summit
Feet.
prominence.
Feet.
I thought it was 80 feet. Well,
I
I'll
have
have to
no
look
clue.
that up. Yeah. Too bad
Feet.
Adam's not in the chat. So I have two clubs that I am affiliated. Well, besides my own club, I have two clubs I'm affiliated with. One they're just doing it at the fairgrounds this year. Last year they did it at a Poda park, which the Poda park they chose was, well, not the smartest Poda park to choose from out of the 13 Poda parks in the county that they're in. You would think, and they're all close together Poda parks that you can easily get to. It's off Interstate 80. You know, you don't have to go that far one way or the other to get to any of those parks. But this year they're doing it at the fairgrounds. The other club I'm a part of, they are doing it right. It's at the Poda Park down the road from the county seat, and you have everything there. And it's going to be it's always a bunch of fun there. And they have been out there for a couple of years now because one of us Poda guys suggested it, and they're not looking back at this point. They're like, yes, this is where we want to be. This is how we're going to do it. And everybody comes to that. I mean, everybody. So I'm thankful for that.
Hey, Frank, traveling
Yeah.
ham. Michael wants to know what club is that you're talking about.
Mike, what? The first one or the second one? The boring one or the exciting one? The exciting one is in Reno. Let's see. Oh, hey, so it's going to be Brian's first field day.
Awesome.
Brian, go find a good club that's actually doing something fun.
Yes.
And don't go to the one that's sitting at the local fairgrounds or whatever, or sitting at the local KFC. Go to the one that has a Poda park in their itinerary.
Well, I will add to this.
Yeah.
Depending on what area of the country you're in, because here in Texas we're looking at like 100 degrees that day. We're looking for the AC buildings.
Oh, see, Brian doesn't have to worry about that. He's up north.
Oh, okay, yeah. Go
So
find a club, go out in Poda.
Yeah, he's fine.
I'll be in a cabin with air conditioning with tank radio and digital rancher.
Cool.
And a
And-
new state park for me, Cooper State Park.
Oh, nice.
Very cool. Yeah, there's so many different options. That's like one nice thing about, well, actually ham radio altogether or doing like portable activation, portable radio, either Poda Soda, field day. You could do it any way you want to. Like I said, you could put everything into a backpack and go hiking somewhere or set up a tent in your backyard. You can pull out your trailer with the huge roll-up mast or crane mast, whatever. It's sky's the limit, and you could do it yourself. You could do it with the club. That's like the greatest thing with field day and ham radio and all the portable operating things.
So, real quick, Mike, yeah, it's up in Reno area. I don't think you want to make that much of a side trip from where you're going to be at to go to Reno just for field day weekend. Wow. Somebody must have said something to Dawn in a back channel somewhere. Hi, Dawn. Good to actually see you on a Friday. Hollywood has a fun idea here. Have a dunk tank. If you can't make 10 contacts in 60 seconds, you swim.
Just make sure that the radio is not in the tank. It doesn't fall into the tank when the guy goes swimming.
Yeah, don't take the radio with you.
Hollywood, the problem with that is if you're doing a field day at a Poda site, you're going to guarantee 10 contacts if they do it right.
If they do it right, that is.
Yeah.
Hush, Paul.
So, Paul, Don wants to know, where's baby Frank? Paul, you're muted.
Oh, sorry. I keep muting just in case I don't want you guys to hear the bird in the background, but that's up to
Frank?
you now, Frank. That's yours.
Oh,
It's your
okay.
video.
Well, I think he wants more. That's the point. Let's see here. And Brian said that they're using setting up at the base of their repeater site.
If it's a nice area, then sure.
Yeah.
Well,
I
Jeff,
don't
it's
know.
Canada. For starters, it's probably a lot nicer than a lot of our repeater sites.
Could be, yep.
I don't know.
Well, yeah. There's so many different repeater sites. Like I know there's repeaters up on mountaintops,
Like some of the ones
repeaters
around
up on
Phoenix are pretty cool.
towers. There's could be like a construction site or inside a power utility company's property.
I mean, ours is inside of a college dorm, basically.
Yeah, it all depends. Like, I wouldn't want to go to the University of Delaware's repeater site because I have no clue where that is. But, yeah, besides all the college girls, but I have no clue where it is at, and the club isn't active, but the repeater is. Well, no, the repeater's running. I wouldn't say it's active, but it is running.
So apparently, this is a image from Colin down in VK of all the POTA sites that he has an option to choose from for field day.
And where is that? Western Australia?
Somewhere.
South.
So some of them are
west?
swimming POTA, swimming and making QSOs.
Yeah, I was gonna say some of those look out in the middle of the ocean there.
The great white shark
there's a
challenge.
couple of them.
Yeah, we got some of those here on the East Coast.
Yeah, that looks like southeast.
Bay.
Oh, come on, it doesn't want to.
I'm just guessing because of the
Southern Australia. VK5 land.
Okay. I have to pull up a map for that. I don't know all the Australian states, but there's like 5 or 6 of them or something like that. That's all I know.
Yeah. Okay.
I never had to learn
the
the Australian states.
Right.
Had to learn the Canadian provinces, South American countries and capitals, and I forget what else. That was a long time ago.
Hey, quick update for Chris Walker and others regarding the antenna files. Fusion, I've tried loading it 2 or 3 times now. It keeps crashing. I have to restart my computer, which means I have to leave the stream. So I'm trying to get to it.
I just responded to you, Mark, but I'll link you up with Chris Bricker afterwards.
Cool.
And hi, other Chris.
Hey, how's it going? I just got done signing my life away, so.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, and of course the kids don't want to get in the other cars, so I'm just,
All right, see you, Mike. Have a good family movie night.
Hey, Jeff.
Hey.
It's been a fun afternoon. I'll just put it that way. Got a couple hours sleep.
You get a new car?
No, the soon-to-be ex. I'm helping her out get a new car because her car got taken a while ago, and I want to make sure she has wheels too. Because I'm sorry, I'm sick of driving.
That's a good way to do it. Absolutely.
Yeah. Plus, I need to buy a new radio. So,
don't we all?
You should have been on the Ham Radio 2.0 stream last night. There was a lot of good deals.
There was.
Oh yeah. The worst thing is I didn't have the money to go and spend.
Right.
Otherwise, I would have bought one of the Rig Expert sticks.
I don't need a new radio thanks to DFW Ham Expo.
I would have gotten a
stick.
The stick, the 150
I don't either thanks to
RSAP.
DFW Ham Expo and Prep Ham Paul.
You see, you guys have the Ham Expo down there in DFW, so you're good. So these questions, ChatGPT really failed.
Actually, I've bought 2 new radios in the past week.
Damn.
Yeah, but I didn't buy one.
Yeah, well, I just realized that somebody left something in my car.
You've gotten 2 in the past month, Paul.
I was the winner of Friday night's drawing for a 510 Yaesu.
Cool.
You got lucky.
Oh, nice.
Yes, I did.
Fancy
and here's the funny part. Literally, it was towards the end Friday night, and I decided to walk because I hadn't seen all the tables, and I was literally complaining 1 or 2 minutes before that to somebody that I had just bought the 500 and they came up with the 510 just a few months later. I was like, this is ridiculous.
My 500 is still sitting. My 500 is still sitting at Yaesu getting repaired.
Mine's still in my closet, sitting there.
Winning.
Broken.
Michael got it on video.
Oh, very cool. Okay, so finally, ChatGPT decided to give me something worthy of working with here. So,
jeez.
well, you got to use it somehow. Um, what are you gonna? What's everybody's opinion of where you think you're gonna work this year for field day? Are you gonna be indoors, outdoors? I mean, obviously clubs are probably gonna be outdoors quite a bit, but who's gonna be running like 1B, 2A, or whatever? And what mode do you want to try and use at field day? Mark?
I'm actually going to be meeting up with my club here in Sheboygan. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going off on my own at the same park, but I'm going to be doing FT8 under my call sign on battery power because they're going to be running generator.
There you go. Mark, what about you?
I want to play data. So I don't know if you know what the UV Pros or the other variants of the same radio, but you can actually send images from your phone through the little HF to other
Yep.
things in the phone. So I'm going to see if I can't find. I don't chase paper, but I'm going to see if I can find other people in LA who are willing to play around with that kind of crap with me. Just do some emails, do some Vera, do some freaking just SSTV, and just play. I really got. I don't, like I said, I don't really care about getting awards and knocking those things off. Not that I don't care about it. I just don't have time for the gamification of it. So
Right.
it doesn't make much sense to. So I just play.
Yep.
Sean, what about you?
I'm gonna be out with one of my clubs, if not two. Just playing whatever, shaking hands, talking around to everybody. I'll probably sit down with somebody doing FT8 if we got it. But I'll probably sit down single sideband and run up some points that way,
There you
or
go.
ruin the point score because I can't make contacts apparently.
Jeff, what about you?
If I go anywhere that a club is having an event, I'll probably go to one that I haven't been to before. That's north part of the state. Well, the northern part of the state, right near the PA line. And hang out with them. I don't know if I'll get on the air if they let me. But just like I said, probably just to go hang out and talk to people. And I've done field day before, and I've had some good experiences, like I said. But if they're doing something different, then I'll try to partake in it. But if they're just doing SSB, then that's cool. I'll do that too.
Paul, what about you?
We haven't had our meeting yet. I think next week we're having Robert, Frank, and I'll be meeting to decide. But I think Frank was mentioning just using him and Robert's radios. I can bring whatever I want. So I'm not sure yet if we're doing one call sign or separate. But either way, I don't know if either of them do CW, but I don't. So I'll either do voice or digital.
Fantastic. Colin says he's not doing nothing outside. It's winter, too cold there. Colin, I just looked up the temperature and the weather outlook, and I'm going to use the U.S. version here. For your town, it's going to be 61 degrees during the daytime as a high and a low of 46 during the nighttime. That
Oh,
is
that's
perfect weather. There is
Hey,
no
it's
excuse
Yeah, that
not
is-
to get out.
It's 56 degrees right now here in Wisconsin. So I'm sorry. I'm wearing shorts and sandals. Come on.
Exactly.
It's dang near 100 here in Texas. Okay.
Yeah, it's and of course that's American units, Colin. You know how to convert them because you do it all the time. I'm not about to convert them for you tonight.
I
So
put a
get
picture
get
of
out
what
there
I
and
think
do
the
it.
cabin is. I think that's a picture of the cabin we'll be at. So it looks it
Where-
looks nice in
Where did
chat,
you put it?
stream chat,
Oh, let's see here.
live
Private
chat.
chat? Oh, live.
Live chat.
Discord live chat. Got it. Okay.
Chris Bricker wants a bigger battery.
Oh, that's
Let's
nice.
see.
Yeah, so we'll have an AC.
Or get
and,
some solar.
Yeah, recharge, Chris.
Get a nice
Share
big panel.
entire-
Get a nice charge controller. Just make sure it's RF quiet.
That's Cooper Lake State Park cabin. That one's got AC, heat.
Nice.
There you go. And let's see here, Dave, the hillbilly ham. He's going to be running the Goda station.
Mm-hmm.
Dave, make sure that don't pull what the other clubs do. When you run the Goda station, grab every unlicensed person, kid, adult, it doesn't matter. Have if they want to have them make three contacts. Three contacts. That's it. Just have them make three contacts.
Prep,
That will help get them hooked.
prep, prep. If you're going to do it, go to station or just for your club as a whole, make make a sheet of paper that says the exchange and everything. So like at the go to station, have a line that says CQ field day, CQ field day. This is whatever the call sign is. Spell it out.
Mm-hmm.
Alpha Bravo 2 Delta Echo Foxtrot. Spell it all out and have them say like just spell it all out so they could just read it. They don't have to memorize anything. Just give it to them and have them read it. It's great for the go-to station. It's great for just anyone that's doing in the club that's doing like SSB on phone, whatever.
Exactly.
Having a script, even for just like for field day, is great. But if you're going with a club going out to do a Parks on the Air activation, there's going to be people there that have never done it before. Make a script.
Scripts
It
are
makes things
100%
so much
important.
easier, and coach the people on what to do.
Absolutely.
I love
I would say
helping out
scripts are
people
good
get on the
in-
air.
I would
Oh.
say scripts are good in general because we're used to using our call signs, not club call
Yes,
signs.
that's the
Right.
big thing too. I'm guilty of it. I've done it several times using a club call sign for field day or just like a club pro activation. I'll slip up and say my own. Heaven forbid when I go do 13 colonies for Delaware, I'm gonna start saying K3JRZ.
Heck, the other day when we were out at the Sonoma Coast State Park, my Sean, the guy that I'm Elmoring, you've seen him in my videos if you watched any of my POTA videos, KO6BJL, we were out at the POTA Park, and this was the first time I've been out of park since January. I haven't been out.
Wow,
Yeah, it's been a while.
slacker.
Right? That is a long while.
Life has been busy. Life has been busy. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Y'all know about it. Yeah. Um but no, we were using my club call out there, K7SPR, and there were a couple times because I didn't have the voice recorder set up. There were a couple times I went Sikipoto, this is Kilo Golf. Oh wait, Kilo 7. Yeah, even with all that, I have it in my head. It's just the calls got swapped. So
A
maybe
script, sticky notes,
Mm-hmm.
labeling, something that has. If you don't need a script because you do POTA all the time, but you just need it for the call sign, sticky notes, a small sticky note, that'll do it too. And just keep looking at it.
Yeah.
You're
That's
still
one
gonna
reason
mess
why I
up.
love voice recorder. You just hit that button and go.
And set
Yeah,
up your
but
ham
you-
alerts too if there's certain ones that you want, certain call signs.
Yep.
True.
Absolutely.
Ham alert is the best thing since sliced bread in amateur radio.
Chris Bricker, I'm going to be making up for it. That there is as long as things go right, fingers crossed here. As long as things go right, there's going to be a whole week and a half that I'm going to be doing POTA here at the end of the month around Field Day. So there we go.
All I know for Father's Day is I'm taking the kids out to a state park and I'm going to play photo myself.
There
You gotta
you
tie
go.
them all to a leash and stick them on a tree so they can't run around and go crazy.
Yeah,
Fall into trouble.
exactly. Or just let them go play in the playground while I'm sitting there activating the park. We got a couple state parks up here that literally they got playgrounds in them. So I take the kids out to one and I just put a mast up and put a wire up and there we go.
Cool. Very cool.
Just put guy lines on the kids. That way they can't get too far.
Right. That
Or
works.
or try to get the kids on the air if they're
All right,
interested.
there you go.
Well,
Get
the
the kid points.
11-year-old
Get the kid
might.
points.
Tell them you
So-
buy them like some ice cream if they get on the air and make you proud.
So I will say this for those in the chat, I don't know about the Sean and Paul and Jeff and Chris and Mark. I know you haven't done this because you have Boondock Echo, but
Did I hear Boondock Echo?
you
Boondock
did.
Echo.
Yes, I heard Boondock Echo.
If you have a club that you want to have shouted out for social media points for field day, Tio did this this last Monday. I'm doing it now. If you have a club that you want to have a shout out for the social media points, drop it in the chat. We're going to shout it out. Dave is using KE6GAE, the Hillbilly Ham Dave. He's going to be at Whiskey Zero Alpha, the Nixa Amateur Radio Club. So good for you, Dave. And Don, I thought Tio said that too as well.
Wait, there's social media points?
Yeah. So if
There's there's a whole list of like bonus points that you could get, like making posts on social media. I don't know if it's like if you do it like Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, whatever, if they all count as like separate points, or if you just do once, it gives you all the points. I don't know. Getting something on the radio, getting something on the paper, getting a politician, local or state, at your place. All kinds of different things to get like extra points.
Oh, Tacoma, Washington, huh? I lived up in Mukilteo for old Redmond and then Mukilteo for about 11 years.
Let's see here.
Real quick, Frank.
Yeah.
I was able to like control Open Fusion, so I privately discorded you
I did see that. Yes.
The inverted delta design files for Chris.
All right.
Anybody else?
Anybody that wants the design files for what Mark showed earlier, hit me up on Discord. Actually, hit me up in my Discord, and I will get you set up with that with Mark there as well. Let's see here. Michael's going to be at K5LRK, W5LUC, and W5NGU. So all three of those clubs, fantastic. And let's see here. Washington Wignut over on Twitch, W6DK Radio Club of Tacoma. Jeff, that seems like that's you. Washington Wignut. Jeff, that's you. You know who you are. Let me know. I didn't get an answer earlier, but there you go. Let's see here. Michael also says N5 Delta Charlie Alpha as well. There we go. Dawn, K5CCL at the Cedar Creek Amateur Radio Club in Gun Barrel City.
Where you have to carry around a gun barrel.
Exactly.
Just the barrel.
Mm-hmm.
Just the barrel.
Just the barrel.
So,
Any
Sean,
size, doesn't matter.
So, Sean, to answer your question here further, come on, there we go. These are just a couple of the rules. Site visitation by a representative of an agency. You can claim one set of 100-point bonus for that. Your go-to station, you can get a whole bunch of bonus points there. A web submission, a 50-point bonus may be claimed by the group submitting their field day entry via the field day entry web app. Youth participation, you get a 20-point bonus. Here, Rule 7.3.16, social media, 100 points for promoting your field day activation to general public via an active, recognized, and utilized social media platform, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, etc. This bonus is available to bona fide ARC and field day groups that welcomes visitors to their operations. So, actually, this is this year's rule, so I'm going to drop this in the chat as well. The rules are something you want to check out ahead of time so that you know what to do.
Yeah. Make sure you get one of my clubs that I'll be at, if not both of them.
Well, you can probably shout yourself out on your own channel, but go ahead and do so after this. Dave says K0NXA is going to be the go-to station there. So... And okay, it is Jeff in Washington. That's what I thought. Very cool, Jeff. All right, Sean, what's your club?
Well, I'm just going to be with Michael at K5LRK and probably W5NGU.
Very cool. Geez, we're already at the top of the hour. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah.
Right, and I try to keep this to an hour ish, so that way things don't go too wild for people. Especially with me and my setup here, because well, if you saw my Q&AMA last week, this fell. So, um,
Yeah, that was funny.
yeah. What's funny is it was over here at that point. It wasn't here. I move it around depending upon what I'm doing. If I have to pay attention to chat over on this monitor, it's right here. Um, how does
Big problem.
what, Chris?
Too many setups, Frank. Too many setups.
I have 5 monitors here, Chris. One's vertical.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I got one when I'm at home. I got a small one right now, and I'm right around Oshkosh, right around the EAA right now. So it's a very quiet and peaceful drive home.
There you go. Except you said one word wrong there. You said the Q word. You've jinxed
Yeah, well,
yourself. You never
no,
say the
I
Q
never do
word.
that. You don't say the keyword. I always say the keyword, and I get my quiet. That's what happens when you're in EMS for 25 years. I say the keyword, I get quiet.
Yeah, you never say that word because it's just horrible.
No, you don't say Friday the 13th around me. That's the problem.
Well, yeah, but it's Jason's birthday. By the way, Jason, if you're watching, happy birthday.
True.
And for those that don't,
JRZ, you can dance if you want to. You can leave your friends behind because your friends don't dance, and if they don't dance, they're no friends of
They're
mine.
no friends of mine.
Mine.
there you go.
I know it.
And yes, Dawn, I was going to mention this too. And this is actually what tripped me up earlier with you coming in. Is you're always around for the HRCC net, but I never see you on my live streams prior to that, which is weird. But tonight you are. Someone must have tipped you off to that. Tonight at 8:30 Central, so in literally a half hour from now. Is the ham radio crash course 40 meter net frequency is in the HRCC Discord under HF nets. So go see what's going on with the HRCC net. And Colin is funny. According to Colin, Chris, it looks like you're driving from the correct side of the car.
Except I am on the U.S. correct side of the car and not the Australian side of the car.
Right, but the way the camera's orientated, it
Yeah.
looks like here, Colin. We'll fix that. There we go.
There you go.
Now it's all better. Let's see here. Andy Cowley, the great Andy Cowley, he's going to be on the HMS Collinwood for Field Day. Fantastic, Andy.
I am sure there's going to be people on some of the museum ships again this weekend or that weekend.
Oh, absolutely. So, one last question before we wrap it up here. With the band conditions the way they have been lately, what does everyone think the over-under is going to be on great band conditions or poor band conditions? Mark?
40%.
40% good or bad?
Yes.
Okay. Sean?
With my luck, I'm going to say 30% good.
Okay.
I think they're just
Jeff-
going to be crap. That's my luck, though.
Jeff, I think you're out more than any of us with POTA. What say you?
Who knows? It's a month away. No, it's like 2 weeks away.
3 weeks.
2 weeks.
3 weeks.
Three. Well, you never know. It could the sun can quiet down and we could have very nice space weather, or it just boils up again and causes all chaos again. You never know, but you don't know until you get out and get on the air. Don't sit at home and ask, "Are the bands good today?" Don't just
We
get
should
out,
all go
have fun
camp
on
at
the air.
dawn.
6 meters could open up.
6 meters
Very
is
true.
apparently open today.
You never know. If you
Yep.
have enough power, you can get out almost anywhere on any frequency, depending on the conditions. But
Oh, so Dave's correcting me. 2 weeks from tomorrow.
2 weeks, 3 weeks,
Yeah.
whatever it takes. You know,
Close enough.
I won't even care. I'll just like, oh, it's today. All right, maybe I'll show up somewhere. Yeah, I got some time. Cool.
Right. Paul, what do you think?
I would like to abstain until the Tuesday before, and I will listen to Tamitha Skov and go from there.
Yeah,
That,
there you
that okay, that is assuming she actually put something out at that point.
Oh, she
She
will.
probably
She,
should.
she will not miss Field Day week, I don't think.
She's a
I
ham
know.
too, so she knows it's coming up.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
How
But-
active a ham she is, I do not know, but she's a ham.
She's relatively active, actually. You know, but between everything else, she's relatively active.
Well, that's cool.
I have her in my ham alerts, and I've seen her spotted a few times. Haven't been able to work, but yeah, she's out there once in a while. Chris, what about you? And I'm sorry, Chris, I'm putting you back the other way because that was so much better. There we go.
Now he's looking at us.
After experiencing the lovely band conditions this weekend with my lovely G90, I'm gonna say they're gonna be about the same as this last weekend. So I gotta make sure I got a 100-watt rig.
There you go.
Always
And
have 100 watts.
If
And
you
yes,
want,
I got to play on a 7300 this last weekend. It was sort of nice to have 100 watts available.
Definitely.
if you want the files to this quick deploy inverted delta antenna, I gave them to you, but you can only download them and open them if you've watched 2 hours of Frank and subscribed to his YouTube channel and gotten 2 of your friends to subscribe to it as well.
Well,
What-
That's the
thank
only
you,
way you're allowed
Mark.
to open them.
Mark, what's those antennas there that are sticking out of the top there?
Oh, okay. So these are just the telescoping 18-foot whatevers
Okay.
with the M10s on the bottom.
Okay. Cool.
So these are, I don't know, whatever I got off AliExpress. These aren't any great quality
Okay.
antenna. In fact,
So-
they're not properly crimped at the bottom, so they spin around the threaded nut, which they shouldn't. So once you screw them in, you cannot unscrew them without taking this whole thing apart, which is ridiculous. But it doesn't really matter. It's metal, and it's going to radiate, so who cares? And the coolest part about all of this is these little guys, which you get your little, your 18 feet of wire, and you put it on, and it's a over center clamp, so it won't open back up no matter what. You have to open it.
Cool. Very cool.
But you got to subscribe, watch 2 hours, and how many friends did I say you had to recommend to share
2.
it with? 2. You have to share it with 2 friends. Otherwise, the files won't open. It's magic.
Yeah, it's just absolute magic like that. Absolutely.
But that's what you get for hanging out with Frank. You get stuff.
Hey, that's cool. Thank you, Mark. Checks in the mail.
Oh, Don, the ones on AliExpress are not 3/8. No, these are M10s. I think they could be they're M10s. However, this really shouldn't matter. So the way that I designed this is you would have to do a little bit of tweaking, of course, but I designed it to be somewhat modular in case you did have different antennas. So they sit in a sleeve, and you can always just print a different sleeve diameter. There's a little bit of wiggle room there, and you could fit a different antenna. You just have to tweak the files ever so slightly to accommodate that new diameter hole. And as far as what goes on the bottom, those are for threaded inserts. So you would just switch that over to a 3/8 24 hole. So it's
There you
modular,
go.
so it should be changeable. I'll release the parametric files once I get a chance to actually test it and make sure it doesn't fall over and go boom.
Fantastic.
Very cool. Very cool design.
Mark,
Absolutely.
Hey, Mark, I'm going to
Yes.
just send you a message. You just might as well send him over. I watch enough of Frank over the years to get it.
Yeah. Chris has definitely watched quite a bit here. Sean, what do you have coming up for your channel?
Unfortunately, probably not a whole lot. Work has been kind of taking way more of my time than anticipated since I got the new job. But you can always catch me on Sunday nights, 8:30.
That's
Hopefully I'll have a
8:30 Central.
video. Yeah, 8:30 Central. Do the Rag Chew crew at 8:30 with Prep Hand Paul over there. And hopefully I'll have a video out this upcoming week. Otherwise, it's just going to be the test questions popping up for technicians.
And there we go. Jeff, what about you?
Yeah. Got a video coming out. Well, at least 2 videos about my latest achievement for Parks on the Air. Got another kilo.
Woohoo!
2-part video. Once you see the first one, you'll understand why it's 2 parts. But yeah, I'm gonna see about going out this weekend. It's supposed to rain here, so we'll see. I did want to try to get on because it is like, isn't it like the June ARL VHF UHF
It
contest
is.
or something? Yeah, I wanted to get on the 6-meter bands, try to get that on there. I've only done 6 meters at one park, and that was several years ago. And I wanted to see if I can get on there again. So hopefully it's gonna be good weather. So we'll wait and see.
Fantastic. Yeah, the June VHF contest this weekend. Have fun with that. 6 meters, 2 meters, U8. Well, 6. Leave no band behind, as Mike N2MAK says. Paul, what about you?
I just noticed there's a 6-meter contest too out of France, but we'll see how the conditions are. Tomorrow at 8 or 9, I'll start first of many MCOM targeted contacts type situation where I'll get online and live stream, and whoever wants to try to QSO will QSO by whatever means it takes. Start with voice. If you have free DV, we may try free DV. If not, we might try JS8 call, and it'll be just people that want to try to connect and learn what frequencies and modes work best to what distances. And then Sunday night, 8:30 Central, Ragchew.
So tomorrow night at 8 Central. That's
Tomorrow
going to be
morning.
interesting. Oh, tomorrow morning. Okay.
Yep.
Tomorrow morning at 8 Central.
It'll be 8 or
target.
9. Depends
8
on
or
when I
9.
wake up.
Okay. Got it. That works. Yeah, that's how I am right now. Chris, what about you?
Well, I got video being edited right now from my last weekend, trying out the N-Fed biscuit from N0APX. I'll tell you this, that is one of the coolest, easiest ways to deploy an antenna that I've ever thought of. And I really like the antenna. Unfortunately, because the band conditions were out, nobody really could hear me. So you'll see that in the video. But other than that, I try to, when I have off on Sunday nights, because I work third shift, to jump on Prep and Paul's channel with the crew. And I can't talk tonight. Yep. And, you'll just see me popping around. I usually try to get to Jeff's premieres, so you guys will see me in the chat there. But I am going to be trying to do more MCOM work with everything than anything else.
Fantastic. And good evening, Chavez. You're going to have to go team replay on this one and have fun with what you find out for field day.
Chavez, welcome.
And as far as I go, you can catch me on Ham Radio Crash Course with Josh during the after chat tomorrow. That usually starts about 8:30 Central, 6:30 Pacific, or 9:30 Eastern for those in Eastern time zone. I'm not even going to bother with Mountain Time because Mountain Time is just Colorado, basically, and yeah. And then I'm around for the premieres on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. I have the NorCal SwapNet every Thursday at 8 Central. 10 Central, 8 Pacific. Geez, I'm already messing up my times. 10 Central for NorCal SwapNet. And I am currently running the net. And I got to be honest here. Last night, we had no jamming issues.
Just hit your DNF button. Get rid of them right away.
On 2 meters. No, it's them trying to jam me out.
Well, then go get a baseball bat then. That's all I could say.
I could say Arabic for you, Frank.
You got to find where they're at first. Actually, we know where 2 of them are. Anyway, with that, anything else anyone wants to say?
Help Frank
Get
get
on
to
the-
2,000 wattage hours.
Have a good weekend.
Get on the air for field day. If you've never been to a field day before, go out to one. I know I bash it every once in a while or all the time, but go out and experience for yourself. A lot of people have different experiences than I have. I've just had a mixed bag, and I kind of rubbed me the wrong way. But go out, even find if you're gonna find a friend, it's like, hey, you want to go out and we'll go camping or go to a cabin and we'll do field day, drink beer, get liquored up and get on the air kind of thing. Or just go out in your backyard and do it by yourself, camp in your backyard or something like that.
Mm.
But at least do it. Decide if it's right for you.
Find a
If you
good
enjoy it.
club. A good club.
Yes.
Yes.
And
That's the key.
sometimes it takes a year or two to see if they're actually good or not. But
That is
yeah,
true.
definitely.
That is
There's a lot
correct.
of different clubs out there. They're not all the same. Sometimes they do the same things, but yeah, you need to find out for yourself because I've had bad luck with clubs and field day doesn't mean you will. There are a lot of good clubs out there. There's a lot of good groups of people that are fun to be around for events like this and are active. So go find.
Yeah.
Hopefully, you get one in your area that is like that.
And I will leave everybody with this one. Go out, and if you do find a club, make sure that that club is looking into the future, that they're not stuck in the past. I don't want to hear complaints, oh, well, the club was only out for like 3 hours and they only did sideband and it was boring. No, go find a club that's looking towards the future and doing
Exactly.
futuristic stuff. Until next time, 73 y'all, we'll see you next week, and pod on.
Bye bye.